Good morning and welcome to Coastal Chaos 2018, a WFTDA-Recognized Tournament brought to you by the Rockcoast Rollers of Rockport, Maine, and New England Roller Derby Report. Our next game features the Bay State Brawlers from down in Massachusetts and from Vermont. It is the Green Mountain Grade A Fancies. I'm Chad, and I'm here with Gretchen. Good morning, Gretchen.
Good morning, Chad. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Super excited about day two.
Oh, yeah. Lots of interesting games yesterday. Bay State and Green Mountain had a little tough going yesterday, and here we see the tournament schedule to date. Rockin' City from Round Top, Texas, taking down...
That was Green Mountain.
Yes,
that
yes.
Game one, yeah. And then we saw an absolute nail-biter in Game 2, Rock Coast taking on the Bay State Brawlers, who we'll see again this morning, with a 1-point victory, 178-177. It was that final jam.
Right down to the final jam. There was an official review to determine the scoring, and it turned out that Rock Coast held on for the win.
Yeah. Later on in the day, we had Lehigh Valley 316 over 124. And so we'll see Mass Attack a little bit later on this morning here in this consolation bracket. And then it was State College over Granite State 222 to 119.
Yeah. So in the championship round coming up later on today, Rockin' City will be taking on Rock Coast, and the two teams from Pennsylvania, Lehigh Valley and State College, will be going at 7:30 this evening.
Yeah, so we'll look at the consolation bracket, which is where we are right now. We'll have Green Mountain versus Bay State. Later on, we'll see Granite State versus Mass Attack. And also today, we will have a junior roller derby exhibition with New Hampshire, and actually, I'm not sure who the other team is on that.
Yeah, it's a Canadian team, I believe. Fredericton.
Yeah, from up in New Brunswick.
It's going to be an exciting game, and junior roller derby, of course, is so exciting in the future of the game, and we are seeing so much positive development.
And I think that the other exposition game that we'll see today is going to be Casco Bay Gentlemen's Derby. And I don't know if they're playing. They may be playing the World.
It's kind of an all-star New England put-together team, so that'll be exciting, too. It should be some really fun derby to see all day long. Running down the rosters real quick, for Green Mountain, number 19 is going to be Beast Infection. Number 20, Seroquel XR. Number 207, Savage Patch Kid. 23 is Fox. 29, Poison Apple. Number 30, Rad Rover. Number 32, Curb Stomp. 369 is Snatch McCracken. Number 4 is Cryptic Kablam. Number 44 is Maulin Mule Kick. Number 4482 is Thrasher. 701, Vajical Jackson. 76, Folsom Bruise. Number 887, Clitorisk. And number 9 is Busty Breaker.
Bay State Brawlers will be represented today by number 14, Molly Walnuts. 15, Burst and Bubbles. 16, Kate. 19, Funky Punky Monkey. We'll just call her Monkey today. Sylvia Wrath. Breakneck Bambi. 34, Ashley Jugs. 42, Blue Whale. 713, Kangarooin. 773, Chick Fury. 8, Ace of Aches. I'm going to get that one confused because we've got an Aces of Aches. Or Aches of Aces or something like that, another team. 80, Translucid. 814, Tequila. Wreck and Roll and Smash Mellow. We're underway with number 20 in white. We have Seroquel jamming alongside.
It's Ashley Jugs for Bay State. Bay State in the black, and our first lead jam of the game going to Ashley Jugs.
We're going to see a lot from Ashley today. She has been a force to be reckoned with on the jammer line.
She certainly has, and she immediately gets a 5-point pass as Seroquel XR is held up until, Bay State doing a nice job chasing, but Seroquel XR does get through. Now on a second scoring pass, Ashley Jugs will call the jam. 2 additional points, I believe. Sorry, Chad.
Looks like it, yeah. Bay State comes in favored to win today. They are ranked a little bit higher in the WFTDA standings. This is a great opportunity for Green Mountain to take some swings at a higher seed. which is a good opportunity for a team. It's a great way. It's nice with the rankings that you can still gain if you aren't able to pick up a win. We'll see how they do today. Right now we've got 19. We've got Monkey on the line.
And it's Vajikel Jackson for Green Mountain.
Yeah, great job yesterday with Vajikel Jackson. Put up quite a few points, pushing hard against that very formidable Bay State wall. They are rock solid.
Yeah, that Bay State versus Rock Coast yesterday was just it was really a fast-paced, hard-hitting game, and we have our first lead jammer for Green Mountain. That's Vajikel Jackson.
Jackson's got some time to work with too, because Monkey's not yet out of the pack. And
No.
is now actually being recycled back quite a distance.
Yeah, that's Busty Breaker with the exit hit coming into turn 3. So this is a scoring pass for Vajikel Jackson. Oh, that's a big shot by Translucid, but she went down.
She went down, so Jackson was able to get back up again.
4-point pass now. So Green Mountain punching back.
And still, she has time. Excellent job by Green Mountain to hold Monkey back.
And I believe a star pass is in progress, or a star fake on the part of, Kate now is the jammer for Bay State.
Excellent jump at the end. Fantastic work. We'll see what she picks up for points out of that. It was a nice, looks like it's going to be 1 extra point.
Well, she deserves every bit of that point. It's a 10-point jam and a first lead change of the game, Chad. Green Mountain going up 10-7.
Really solid way for Green Mountain to start out today. Let's hope they can keep that momentum going.
Sure. Okay, and we have a timeout immediately being called by Green Mountain, as they're going to have a little bit of a conference over at their bench. Jammers look like having a discussion. And yeah, our officials for today's contest, the skating officials are Scooby Drew, Refs in Style, Queen Victoria, Dirk Shearer, Dana Peterson, Pete Smoke, and Destruction. And our non-skating officials are Bradysaurus Rex, Slothzilla, Trogdora the Jaminator, Push-Up Zebra, Nerd Herder, Coconuts Chanel, WEB Destroys, Rasputin, Zero Fox, T-Patahedron, BFG, and Glitter Bomb.
You got them all out, didn't you?
I did.
Nice job.
It's nice to have a timeout early in the game to be able to achieve that. Oh, and Vajikel Jackson was called off at the end of that jam. Penalty issued, so she will be starting this next jam in the penalty box. Up for Bay State is Ace of Aches on the power jam start. Here we go. Bay State setting up the defense in turn 2, and Ace of Aches fighting through, lead jammer to Bay State. One of the things I've noticed, Chad, is that with the slow pack formations that some of the teams are using here this weekend, these jammers have been very quick getting around on scoring passes. But right now, we have a turnaround. Ace of Aches is going to be called off for cutting the track. So Vajikel Jackson is out of the penalty box. This will be a full 2-minute jam.
I think this is another excellent job here by Green Mountain to keep their heads in the game here at this point early on, knowing that they're sort of the underdogs here.
Sure.
She played it safe coming around 3 and 4. Great heads-up work, seeing their jammer come out of the box, too, and be able to stand there and assist.
Yeah, Vajikel Jackson quickly completed the initial pass, and now that's a 5-point scoring pass.
Aches enters the pack now.
Yeah, still 38 seconds to go on the jam clock, so a lot of derby to play in this jam.
Only 2 blockers out on the track right now for Green Mountain.
Yeah, 5 up for Ace of Aches. Vajikel Jackson fighting up front and getting stymied. Ace through for another 5. Still 15 points on the jam clock. We have a Bay State blocker. Little slow to get up. Hopefully, well, she will be rejoining the action. Vajayko Jackson pushing the front of the pack, and that's going to do it. The jam will time out. Boy.
So it is currently 22 Bay State to 20 Green Mountain.
Yeah.
The scoreboard on our overlay is not exactly where it's supposed to be, so I'm going to go ahead and tinker on that just a little bit.
Okay, 22 to 20. We've had 2 lead changes now. We have an official timeout on the track, as now that will be over with. We're ready for jam number 4 coming up. It'll be Wreck and Roll for Bay State, taking on Mullen Mule Kick for Green Mountain. And a little medical attention is being brought to Sylvia Rath for Bay State. She's going to be able to join her teammates, though. The medical staff had to go over and check her out, though, so Sylvia Rath will not be able to rejoin the action for at least 3 jams. Hopefully she will be okay, though, as the medical staff is walking back to their perch in turn number 1. That would seem to indicate that Sylvia Rath's going to be all right to proceed. She's joining her teammates again. Now we've got the whistle that will indicate the beginning of play. Again, Mullen Mule Kick on the line for Green Mountain. Wreck and Roll for Bay State. Wreck and Roll takes to the front of the pack. Mullen Mule Kick looking inside on turn 2. It's a quick moving pack, Chad.
Yeah, that's kind of we haven't seen that yet this morning from these 2 teams. I do expect to see Bay State turn up the heat as far as pack speed goes.
That seems to be one of their weapons. Out first, lead jammer for Green Mountain is Mullen Mule Kick. And we have a powered jam Green Mountain, as Wreck and Roll didn't catch the call, is sent to the penalty box. She is sitting right now. So this is a scoring pass for Mule Kick. She will call off the jam after racking up 4 points. And Green Mountain retake the lead, 24 to 22.
I'm sure the last thing the Bay State Brawlers want is another nail-biter of a game after yesterday. I don't think they...
Oh, that's got to be a tough one to shake off. We were discussing that before. In some ways, Green Mountain getting beat down by Rockin' City is probably easier to come back from, because you just shake that off.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay, this is Seroquel XR. She's through the pack, but not lead jammer. An improper pass is going to leave lead open as Wreck and Roll is released from the penalty box, but taken outside on turn number 2 by the Green Mountain defense. Speaking of Green Mountain offense, that was some good work by Curb Stomp, making room for Seroquel XR. That's 4-point pass. And now we have a lead jammer, Wreck and Roll. She's got a decision to make if she's going to try to score or call off the action. Looks like she's going for points.
That's a decision that I guess that could go either way, right? You take the risk that
sure
you could have ended it now, and because right now they're down by 4 points. You could say that maybe stop the bleeding there. She will, but it's after another 4 points has been picked up.
That's right. Wreck and Roll just got hammered by Poison Apple for Green Mountain, and that's an 8-3 jam. So Green Mountain extend their lead now to 32 to 25.
21-36 still in this first half. You know, I can definitely see where taking that chance makes sense. It's so early still.
That's right. And you never know. You can get a break and a jammer penalty goes the other way, and then all of a sudden you're setting the table. So we have another official timeout underway. Ashley Jugs back up for Bay State.
Will be Busty Breaker for the grade A Fancy.
That's right. Busty Breaker, not a regular jammer for Green Mountain, but they are mixing it up in the early going.
Yeah, they may be taking the option to exercise some change against the Green Mountain defense early rather than waiting too long.
Sure. This both teams have one blocker in the penalty box, so it's a 3-on-3 pack. This ought to favor the jammers to some extent. Again, Ashley Jugs, a powerful jammer for Bay State, but this time rolled back by Folsom Brews. Busty Breaker pushing the front of the pack. Now we've got Ashley Jugs making a move.
She muscled through there. It took her a little bit, and they did a great job drawing her back, but still not enough. Ashley Jugs, a favorite to watch for sure.
A very powerful jammer. And now on a scoring pass, Busty Breaker is through a 3-point scoring pass, and Breaker will call off the jam. That'll take Bay State up to 28. We got a 4-point game, Chad.
I gotta say, I didn't think we would start out this morning with a super tight race. I'm glad that we are.
That's again, grade A Fancy. They're looking at this situation now. Nothing to lose. They will call a quick timeout, and and Bay State coming off of that heartbreaking 1-point victory against Rock Coast, and arguably the most exciting game of yesterday's action.
Yeah, absolutely. That was, yesterday's game. There was a lot of emotion. You've got Rock Coast, who I'm trying to think if they've made it past the first round in the last few years. I wasn't here last year, so I don't know how well they did. But I know that Rock Coast this year has some folks that formerly played for Bangor Roller Derby.
That's correct.
Who lost in the championship to Bay State 2 years ago.
Yes. And, I understand that Bangor Roller Derby lost their facility, and as a result, there's a drought of derby in northern Maine, and that's Rock Coast's benefit.
Yeah, it's benefiting Rock Coast, and I think there may be a couple skaters that have gone over to the other side of Bangor. We have Central Maine Roller Derby, and I think there may be a couple skaters that are playing over there now.
Okay, we are back to action. This is Mullen Mule Kick for the Grade A Fancy.
And Monkey out on the line. Monkey is incredibly powerful. And she's a bulldozer and is going to push her way through.
And there you go.
And she looks pretty damn happy doing it too.
That's a 5-point scoring pass, and Bay State retaking the lead. Ooh, and a cutting the track penalty now going against Mullen Mule Kick. So this is a green light for Bay State. Power jam.
The Green Mountain doing their best here. I see Poison Apple and Clitorisk doing their best to hold back the jammer. To no avail, though.
No, and another call off of 5-point jam, and Bay State taking the opportunity to send Ace of Aches to start in a power jam start. Now, both packs are at full strength. Mullen Mule Kick will start this jam still sitting down in the penalty box for Bay State. It's a 1-point game. Bay State 33.
Yeah.
Green Mountain 32.
You look and you watch the beginning of this jam, and that's pretty textbook of Bay State Brawlers. Their defense played offense and really did a great job breaking apart the Green Mountain
And quickly,
defensive line.
Yeah, and quickly on a score. That was a nice defensive stop there by Vajikel Jackson, who gets some retaliation from the Bay State squad. Mullen Mule kicks out of the penalty box, but is stood up there by Smash Mello. And Vajikel Jackson's called off. 5 points for Ace of Aches. And boy, when Bay State scores, they are scoring in bunches. That's a 15-point jam, taking Bay State to 48 now. Green Mountain still on 32.
I think that may be maybe our largest jam of the day. And with Bay State's defense, you can't let that happen. That is almost too hard to come back from. We saw yesterday with Rock Coast, it took a lot out of them. At the end of that game, they were pretty beat.
Okay, this is Wreck and Roll now on the Power Jam start for Bay State. Green Mountain moving the pack quickly. Curb stomp punching out. Wreck and Roll. Out of play signaled, and we have a lead jammer. Okay, Mullen Mule kick can't quite stay in bounds out of the penalty box. Oh my!
Poison apple. I'll tell you, if you're looking for action from your defense, and you want to know who's going to be there when a big hit's made, Poison apple is just always there in the mix.
Oh yeah. She's got her focus on the star, no doubt about it.
Yeah, between Poison apple and Curb Stomp, that's a duo. I don't want to really. I'm not tangling with them.
No.
I steer clear when we're walking through the arena here.
4 more points at the end of the jam. 52 now. Bay State, on the strength of those last 2 jams, have taken a 20-point lead now up to the jam line. For Green Mountain is Folsom Brews. And once again, Ashley Jugs will be wearing the star for Bay State.
Is this, I almost thought maybe we were going to have a full strength start here, but I think we've got 2 in the box over there, right?
At least 1 for Bay State. And Ashley Jugs able to, she juked inside, found room on the outside straightaway, and she is lead jammer.
Yeah, she's in the back right now, tooling around with Savage Patch Kid, but she's able to spin through.
Quick 5 points. Bay State making a push right now. Speaking of push, we have a Folsom Brews for Green Mountain making it through on the initial pack.
And a big shoulder by Fox puts Ashley out on the front stretch.
Yeah, and Folsom Brews closing quickly, does pick up 2 hustle points. However, 8 points put up by Ashley Jugs, so Bay State extend their lead 60-34 now with 14 minutes and 48 seconds to go.
Sarah Quill with the star for the grade A fancy. And we'll see Monkey again.
Yeah, Monkey, like you said, she has a smile on her face. It's like, I think she'd play every game if you let her.
Yeah.
No lack of enthusiasm from Monkey. Oh, and there we go. Poison Apple again.
Yeah.
Just finding a legal spot on Monkey's shoulder, taking her down. But Monkey right back up and lead jammer.
It was nice to watch through the front stretch here. It was a very mobile defense from the grade A fancy. And it wasn't until a Snatch McCracken picked up a penalty and had to go to the box that finally there was room left for Monkey to go through.
Yeah, and speaking of which, Monkey didn't take long to complete that 5-point scoring pass on her outside wheels. We have a star pass now to Curb Stomp for the grade A fancy. And that will prompt the call off. As you said at the beginning, Chad, this Coastal Chaos 2018 is a WFTDA-recognized tournament. The WFTDA-Recognized Tournaments program recognizes and supports high-quality WFTDA member-hosted tournaments worldwide, and we'll get into the schedule of upcoming tournaments later on in this game.
13 minutes, 9 seconds in this first half. It's going quick.
It is. Mullen Mule Kick at the front of the pack for the Grade A Fancy. And this is Ace of Aches at the rear of the pack for Bay State. And we have a Green Mountain lead jammer.
Yeah, we have quite a number of punishers in the box right now. In fact, all but one.
That's right. And Ace of Aches looking to complete the initial pass, able to do so all on her own effort.
There was a little confusion, I think, in turn one. I think she may have thought that there had been a penalty called on her. She stopped, turned around, and kind of looked.
Ooh, Mullen Mule Kick calling off the jam a fraction late.
Too late.
Yeah, she did get 7 points on that pass, but 4 points picked up by Ace of Aches, who was closing very quickly. 73 now for Bay State, 41 for Green Mountain. Yeah, that's one of those things that I don't know how you fix that issue when a whistle blows, and it seems like it often will create a momentary stop on the part of the pack because everybody's wondering, was it me?
Yeah, because you don't want to get an insubordination call.
Exactly. 2 straight lead jammers now for Green Mountain. This is Vijayal Jackson out in front.
Yeah, with the star this time around was Wreck and Roll.
It's a power jam now in favor of the Grade A Fancy as Wreck and Roll is called for a forearm. Vijayal Jackson calling off the jam. She's happy about it.
Yeah.
She got her 4 points.
It was really great timing with that call off. Roll had only just sat down in the box, so we've got a pretty near a full 30 seconds on that penalty.
That's right, and Curb Stomp, who jammed quite a bit for Green Mountain yesterday, will be wearing the star for the Grade A Fancy. This is her first time to jam so far today.
Yeah, we have Seroquel as the pivot as well, so, if they run into a situation they need to do a star pass, they won't need to this time around, though.
No, lead jammer going to Curb Stomp, and Seroquel, as you pointed out, Chad, made that happen with an offensive sweep inside on turn one.
Green Mountain
pile up on the outside straightaway. Sorry to interrupt, Chad.
It looked like Green Mountain was doing a pretty good job holding back a goat there.
Yeah.
And been forcing that pack to
Curb Stomp.
Held together. Curb Stomp muscled her. That was an awfully hard-earned 5 points, but she did it.
I'll say she got through the pack about 3 separate times and then would get re-swallowed. The power jam is over.
So she'll get a couple of points and call it pack speeding up a little bit.
And you got that right, Chad. Another 5-point pass, so that is a productive jam for Green Mountain, pulling to with 18 points now. 55 for the Grade A Fancy, 73 Bay State.
Yeah, if they can come away from a jam here against a very well-rounded team like the Punishers and come away with a 10-0 in a jam,
there you go.
That's phenomenal.
Vijayal Jackson now jamming for Green Mountain against Ashley Jugs.
She's doing a little blocking. I wonder if she remembers she has the star on her head. She's been out there blocking quite a bit today.
Oh, Poison Apple with another one of those punishing hits to the outside.
And Vijayal Jackson is our lead jammer.
Yeah, 3 straight lead jams now for Green Mountain. They're finding their stride towards the final third of this first period.
So Green Mountain helps her jammer through. She calls it off. That's another. She get 2 points, or she get a full 4?
She got the full 4.
I was going to say, I hadn't seen it up on the board yet. That's 2 jams in a row for Vijayal Jackson, picking up 4 quick points, calling it off safely. it's a smart way to get back into this game.
Oh, absolutely, because we're under 20 now. It's a 14-point game, actually. Of course, great weapon to have if you are Bay State. They send Monkey to the line. Mullen mule kick with the star for the grade A Fancy.
I like what they're doing here. They're down a blocker, and Mullen has held back to also help block here against Monkey. I think that makes perfect sense. Maybe buy a little bit of time. Unfortunately, they've got another blocker going to the box.
Well, and Monkey, being Monkey, made it through, but so did Mullen mule kick, so we've got a foot race.
And it'll get called off. I don't think she wanted to. I think she wanted to go, but
yeah, Monkey strikes me as the type who's always ready for action. I like that in a skater, no doubt about it. All right, so we will be starting now. That did clear out the penalty box a little bit, Chad. Grade A Fancy with one blocker in the penalty box, so there will be a 4-3 pack advantage in favor of Bay State.
Curb stomp and Ace of Aches.
Ace of Aches wants to go outside, but Vijayal Jackson's got the superior position.
And you see that again, curb stomp didn't necessarily run right into the wall.
Yeah.
She waited a little bit to see if she could provide any of her own offensive support to make sure there was some time. And she bought enough time to spring out her own jammer.
Yes.
Lead jammer, though, was picked up by Ace of Aches.
Ace of Aches, they said she was looking outside. She wanted to go outside. When that was sealed off, though, resourceful as always, she took the inside line. Now on a scoring pass, curb stomp is through, and Ace of Aches is bumped out on the outside. She's called off. So this is now a power jam, Chad, in favor of Green Mountain.
No points had been put up yet by Aches.
It's a track cut penalty, so curb stomp putting up 5, and all of a sudden Green Mountain with a charge over the last 10 minutes.
Green Mountain has been very methodic in this comeback, whether it's on the jammers end where they're calling things short and safe, or on the defensive end when they're saying, all right, maybe the jammer doesn't just bull it out and maybe it stays back and we get our defense back out of the bench.
Yeah, they're really playing to their strengths. There's 20 seconds left in the jam. The power jam is over, and both teams are locking down defensively. Oh, multi-players going against one of the Green Mountain blockers.
That's Snatch McCracken. I'd be interested to see what our penalties are here at halftime. I think that may be the third for Snatch.
And that's going to do it for the jam. A couple of 9 points picked up by Ace of Aches, but 13 for curb stomp, and it's now a 10-point game. Green Mountain just clawing back into this, Chad.
And we see a timeout called by, it looks like that's going to be, it's not showing up on the scoreboard yet.
Yeah, it is Bay State.
Bay State, yeah.
Yeah, this timeout gives me an opportunity to thank some of the sponsors for Coastal Chaos 2018. Our scoreboard VIP sponsor is All Kind. They produce chocolate bars and caramels with a medicinal tint. Their flagship store is in Portland, Maine. They are batch tempered, hand-poured, and hand-wrapped to help you medicate, elevate, and motivate. Thank you, All Kind Rolling. And we also want to thank VIP Tires and Service. The VIP promise is better than just the lowest price. It's being treated with respect and getting the job done right the first time. So if you need tires or service and you are in the Rockland, Maine area, look up VIP Tires and Service.
VIP all over New England. They're all over the place.
Okay. Thank you for pointing that out.
There's a VIP around every corner.
Okay. All right. Well, they are sponsors of Coastal Chaos 2018. I may need to see them before I head back to Pennsylvania. You never know on these roads. That's another thing that we can point out that VIP does. Pothole season has been upon us over the last, seems like, year and a half, but it takes its toll on cars. So now's the time to make sure your wheels are in alignment. Trust the certified automotive professionals at VIP Tires and Service to make sure it's done right.
Doing it right for Green Mountain is number 20, Seroquel XR.
Oh, and now we have an official review. So this is Bay State asking for an official review. We'll be getting a clarification on this in a few minutes. But, at this point now, Banshee's going to be talking with our production staff, communicating what it is that Bay State is looking for. It's an important juncture of the game. Green Mountain making a comeback run. They've gotten to within 10 points of Bay State. Chad, what is the review about?
So Bay State was looking for a forearm penalty against the white jammer, but the forearm interaction was actually ended up being against her own team. So call stands.
Okay, and
no call stands.
Yeah, Bay State will lose their review for the period. With 5 minutes to go, not a bad use of a review to try to get the momentum back on the Punisher's side. Well, we got Wreck and Roll now, out lead for Bay State. Seroquel XR with the star for Green Mountain.
And Green Mountain does not look ready to take on the jammer, and they only had 2 blockers at the time. So that was a pretty easy pass for 4 points.
Wreck and Roll calling off the jam before Green Mountain can put up anything else. And Poison Apple is still sitting in the penalty box to start this next jam. So it will be a pack disadvantage once more, Chad. Ashley Jugs ready to jam for Bay State.
Yeah, and we've got Mullen Mule Kick for Grade A Fancy.
Okay. Wonder whether Mule Kick will play a little bit of defense this time to start the jam the way they have been. And that is exactly what she's doing, sealing off the inside straight away. But Ashley Jugs making a concerted effort now, finding room, lead jammer, Bay State.
Yeah, it almost looked like she was inadvertently blocking there a little bit as she went to the same place they actually wanted to go. I think that might be what was happening.
That could easily be. Ashley Jugs is lead jammer. She gets out in front, and she's going to call immediately, and that will be a 4-0 jam in favor of the Punisher, taking them now to 90. Green Mountain still on 72. The penalty box is empty for this next jam.
It's hard to believe.
Bay State starting the jam up at the front of the start area. Green Mountain liking the start line. Now Bay State will skate back and engage, forming the pack.
We see Monkey and Seroquel. Monkey with a shoulder into Seroquel. Seroquel on the outside. Is there room? Can she stay on the line? Nope, she's going to get spun out.
Boy, Monkey tangling with curb stomp on the outside line and dangerously close to a back block, but Monkey just got the shoulder. Here we have another Grade A Fancy lead jammer.
Monkey almost picked up a track cut. It was close. I thought I'd seen a whistle and a hand movement, but it wasn't for that. So
yeah, Green Mountain doing a really fine job of holding back Monkey. And this will be a 5-point pass, if I'm not mistaken, in favor of Seroquel.
We should really call out here the defense of Green Mountain. And we have out on the track, we've got Folsom Bruise, Breaker, Curb Stomp, and who else am I missing?
Well, we have a star pass in the meantime going to Burst and Bubbles.
We had a star pass. That is incredibly uncommon for Monkey to have to pass the star at some point.
Yeah, and the interesting thing about that, too, is that the pack was very mobile.
Yes.
It made it all the way around the track before the star pass took place. But Green Mountain now pulling within 8 points on that 10-point jam. Minute and 40 left.
Yeah, that was the defense firing on all cylinders for sure.
It was. Curb Stomp was the pivot on that defensive stand. We got Ace of Aches now for Bay State.
We got Vajaykel Jackson, has made a lot of progress and not been necessarily upright doing so, but lead jammer nonetheless.
That's what it takes. Okay, now she is signaling to her teammates. Yeah.
She's going to have to call it off. Her points were too far ahead for her, and the gap was being closed awfully fast by Aches.
Yep, it's a scoreless jam, so we will get one more jam, 53 seconds on the period clock. I doubt either team's going to want to stop the period clock right now.
No, I don't think so.
And it's still going to be a 4-3 pack advantage in favor of Bay State.
Breaker and Ashley Jugs on the line.
Okay, 30 seconds now on the period clock. So this will most likely be the final jam of the period. Breaker looking inside. Ashley Jugs finding the outside line. Lead jammer. Okay, Green Mountain's got to get Breaker through now because Ashley Jugs is so fast getting back to the pack. Okay, Ashley's through on a scoring pass, but Breaker is through as well. Nice defense by Sarah Quill.
And that's it.
That'll do it for the first period. Yeah, Bay State ending on a 4-point hit and quit, but they've got what cannot really be described as a comfortable 12-point lead now. Green Mountain playing very strong in this first game of our Saturday coverage of Coastal Chaos.
Well, thanks for watching so far with us. Coastal Chaos 2018, a WFTDA-Recognized Tournament brought to you by the Rock Coast Rollers of Rockport, Maine, and New England Roller Derby Report. We'll be back with Period 2 in just about 14 minutes. don't know when we're going to have we're going to have Derby like right now.
Yeah.
All right. We're ready to go. We're back. Holy cow, we're back.
All right. Well, there were some issues with the scoreboard, but it looks like they are been taken care of.
So for those of you playing stream broadcast problem bingo at home, you can fill out your scoreboard issues box now.
That's right, and we're ready to get underway. Period number 2, Bay State with a 12-point lead.
Sarah Quill and Ashley Jugs.
And it's a full pack for both teams as we get underway. Well, Ashley Jugs has just been the jammer, really, for Bay State.
Yeah, and Bay State's doing a very good job holding back Sarah Quill, but Sarah Quill's through. She's past Bay State. She's now past Ashley. She's our lead jammer.
Oh, and an exit hit there by Busty Breaker's going to send Ashley Jugs to the back of the pack. Pack's in turn 3, scoring pass now.
Sarah Quill pushed off turn 3. She'll get pulled back a little bit. Ashley Jugs is through. Sarah Quill is going to play it safe, call it off.
And smart play. How many? It's
3
3.
points.
Yeah, 3 points. So Green Mountain coming back strong after the halftime, getting that lead down to 9 points. All right, next up, Vajikel Jackson for Green Mountain taking on Monkey for Bay State.
Yeah, both have been very successful today. It's been difficult at times, but Green Mountain has been able to answer the strength of Monkey. Will they this time?
They have lead.
They do long enough for Michael Jackson to get out.
Poison Apple on the outside of turn 2 just took Monkey out enough to swallow her back into the pack.
Michael Jackson came in with some speed into turn 3. Wasn't able to keep those skates on the track.
Yeah, that was Monkey actually who lowered a shoulder into Vajikel Jackson. Now Jackson finds room. That's a 5-point pass, Chad. It is a 4-point game.
And still, without the initial pass, is Monkey.
That's right. And Vajikel Jackson gives Green Mountain a 1-point lead as we start the second period. Vajikel Jackson working on 10 points.
Monkey with the star stash, and she hands it off to 15. That's Burstin' Bubbles.
Burstin' Bubbles, the jammer now for Bay State. Vajikel Jackson going to call off the jam. And how about this in the second jam of period number 2? Green Mountain taking a 5-point lead.
14 points for Vajikel Jackson. Biggest jam of the game, certainly for Jackson. Maybe the biggest jam of the day for Green Mountain. I think they've had a couple of 10-point jams.
Yeah, Green Mountain been doing it on a one-scoring pass basis for the most part. Mullen Mule Kick now jamming for Green Mountain.
Yeah, we've got Ace of Aches. And Ace of Aches is our lead jammer.
Mullen Mule Kick's going to be sent to the penalty box now on a forearm call. So it's a power jam. Green Mountain fighting for the lead, but Bay State going to take it back.
They have taken it back right now, and Ace of Aches looks to come around turn 2 and add to that. She's picked up 1 point for passing the jammer in the box. Let's see what she does here as she enters the backstretch.
She is dispatched to the outside. She's going to call off the jam.
They will freeze the jammer in the box and have a 10-second power start.
That's right, and looking to see, that was Snatch McCracken with the exit hit on Ace of Aches, forcing that call off, but a 9-0 jam puts Bay State back on top, 103-99.
So Wreck and Roll with the star for Bay State Brawlers. I'm a little surprised it's Wreck and Roll. To be honest, I would have thought maybe we would have seen Ashley Jugs take this power start?
Well, she did get through quickly, though, and is lead jammer. Mullen Mule Kick out of the penalty box, barreling through the last line of defense. That's an initial pass. And Rex going to have to call it off.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 2 points.
Yeah, 6-point game. 105 Bay State, 99 Green Mountain.
I think Green Mountain needs to consider that jam a win.
They dodged a bullet.
They dodged a real bullet there. They killed off a penalty and limited the Bay State to only 2 points.
Yeah, and they'll be starting this jam with a 4-3 pack advantage.
Only 2 points, but as Bay State knows, you only need one to win.
They know all too well. This is curb stomp now for Green Mountain and Ashley Jugs, both jammers being recycled behind the start line. Boy,
there's on defense, Vajikel Jackson.
Yeah, Vajikel Jackson is really a triple threat for Green Mountain in this, well, not just in this game. Okay, we have our lead jammer after over 30 seconds of play. This is Ashley Jugs for Bay State. Curb stomp through as well for Green Mountain.
We'll see if Ashley asks the pack to speed up a little bit. I think she's just going to go in for the quick 2 or 3 points and call it. I think she'll get 3 out of that. I don't know that she got that last point or not.
0 for Green Mountain. We're looking for the scoring on Bay State right now. 2 points. 2 points as the jam referee consulting with the outside pack referees to be sure of the points. And so Bay State now 107-99 for Green Mountain. Green Mountain is going to be calling time out. This will be their second. According to the scoreboard, this would be their final timeout that they're using now, kind of early in the second period, Chad.
Yeah, that's a little surprising that they would do that. I mean, maybe they're considering they'll use that official review and they'll rely on that. But then, my goodness, if you have to actually make an official review, then what are you going to do? Yeah,
well, by the same token, you want to feel confident on the track. Again, Coastal Chaos 2018 is a WFTDA recognized tournament, and there's several other WFTDA recognized tournaments coming up very soon. This weekend, as a matter of fact, several going on. The K-Town Shakedown and Southern Discomfort. The next big one's going to be in Eugene, Oregon, May 4th through 6th. That is the Big O, hosted by Emerald City Roller Girls.
Will you be attending the Big O?
No, I won't, Chad. I would love to. Have never made it out there. I mean, I've been on the West Coast several times. Never been to Eugene, however. Okay, a penalty now being called on Mauling Mule Kick. So this is Monkey in a power jam for Bay State. Cutting the track was the call on the Green Mountain Jammer.
Well, let's see what Green Mountain can do defensively against Monkey. Two jams in a row. They've been able to answer for her, but not this time. No,
Monkey powering through on the outside straightaway. Curb stomp now in the pivot position for Green Mountain is getting her defense together. Monkey blasting into the pack on a scoring pass.
And we are emptying out the penalty box now.
Monkey with 5. And Mullen Mule Kick out of the penalty box through on the initial. Wow, Monkey with the power to take the defense where she wants the defense to go. Puts up 3 more and calls off the jam.
So just like that, Bay State with a slight lead.
Yeah, 16 points at this point. But we know Green Mountain has been punching back every step of the way.
Seroquel XR. and Ace of Aches on the line.
Both teams at full strength.
I'm surprised, I think, about the setup up at the pivot line, just because I think both of those jammers, I don't know if I want to give them that much,
that much running
lead.
Start.
Right, that's a head of steam.
That's right. Seroquel finds the gap first. Lead jammer about half a track ahead of Ace of Aches. Here comes Seroquel slaloming through the pack, taken down.
Calling it off from the ground.
And 3 points awarded to Seroquel. That is job well done by Green Mountain. Takes them over 100. Second period running quickly now, 21 minutes to go. We've got Curb Stomp on the line for Green Mountain.
Yeah, and interesting, we're going to see Burst and Bubbles lining up on the jammer line for defense.
Going toe-to-toe with Curb Stomp.
That was an interesting strategy. I don't see that all too often, but
no.
In this situation, I think it worked out okay.
It did. It certainly added an element of surprise. Curb Stomp rolled back to the start line, and now we have a lead jammer wreck and roll for Bay State, so it did pay off. Hey, Green Mountain in the back of the pack now. Wreck and roll is not going to get through. She does call and is awarded 2 points. Points are all of a sudden a little more difficult to come by, Chad.
Difficult to come by and far more valuable.
Yes.
With just under 20 minutes, this obviously this game is going to go in either direction, but I really feel like Green Mountain and Green Mountain fans need to be incredibly happy about this game.
Oh, yeah.
They came in a significant underdog today, and no matter what the outcome at this point, they're likely to really make some great grounds on their standings.
Sure, and Vijaykel Jackson now out. Lead jammer Ashley Jugs playing chaser.
Yeah, Jackson will have a little bit of time. Her points are in the back. Hit it and quit it. She picks up 1 or 2. I think we'll see even points here.
Yeah, Ashley Jugs hit the pack hard, and Vijaykel Jackson taking a minute to get up.
I see Jackson putting her hands up in the air, so I wonder if there may have been a penalty at the end of that.
I'm wondering about that. Ashley Jugs hit the pack hard. She might have, Jackson might have been looking for a back block, but it's a 2-0 win for Green Mountain on that last jam.
No penalties assessed.
Correct.
Other than what might have been happening.
Okay, Mullen mule kick now for Green Mountain, taking on Monkey again. Okay, 2 straight lead jams for Green Mountain. Seems like the Green Mountain defense has figured out Monkey to some extent.
I absolutely think that they have. The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah, Monkey does get through. Now Green Mountain switching to offense. Curb Stomp.
Got through, but not before getting a shoulder from Poison Apple.
Okay, just 1 point for Green Mountain on that jam, but more importantly, 0 for Bay State. It's an 11-point game now. Up next for Bay State, we've got Ace of Aches. Ace of Aches has kind of been the X factor for Bay State really in this game. Seems like she's been able to come through when the Punishers need her.
Seroquel XR has been incredibly consistent on both offense and defense today.
Yeah.
It's Aches who is our lead jammer.
Absorbing the impact from the defense and now on a scoring pass. Yeah, Ace of Aches running through the pack now. That's a 4-point pass. Aches is waiting and will most likely call. She does.
Or take flight with her wings spread out.
Oh, 2 points picked, 3 points picked up on the back end. And a somewhat untimely call off for Bay State. As a result, we've got a 121 to 109 game. Okay, the penalty box is empty. We've got curb stomp and wreck and roll as the jammers.
Wreck and roll is really making some headway up front. I think it'll be, no doubt she'll be our lead jammer.
And there's the official whistle. You were correct, Chad. Yeah, curb stomp is getting, oh no, she's now going to go to the penalty box on a back block. This is a untimely penalty for Grade A Fancy.
Yeah, 16 minutes left. You don't want to give any kind of crazy opportunities to Bay State.
Ooh,
that will capitalize.
Poison Apple up to the challenge of holding off Wreck and Roll, but Wreck and Roll fights back.
And if you're Bay State, you got to think, I have to play the next 30 seconds incredibly carefully. You don't want to squander this opportunity. You've got as you've seen, a marginal lead.
Yeah, and Wreck and Roll now with 10 points on the jam. This is going exactly as Bay State could have drawn it up.
Yeah, the penalty is over, so we've got curb stomp back out on the track.
And Wreck and Roll's going to call off the jam with 4 more points. That was a big jam for Bay State. A 14-point unanswered jam. 135 now for Bay State versus 109 for Green Mountain. All right.
Ashley Jugs and Maul and mule kick.
It is an empty penalty box, Chad, so we will have 5-on-5 at the start of this jam.
Ashley Jugs found a big open pocket on the outside.
Mule kick still being pushed around by the Bay State defense.
And Ashley is finding a little bit more difficulty now.
Yeah, that was Sarah Quill XR.
Sarah Quill XR, yeah.
Again, as you said, Chad, not only jamming for Green Mountain, but playing significant minutes on the defensive end. Now through Ashley Jugs with a 5-point pass. Green Mountain still fighting to get their jammer through.
Yeah, attempted star pass, didn't get it.
Oh, Jekyll Jackson did get the start.
Picked it up. Once they got picked up off the ground.
Okay, and Jackson gonna roll for a scoring pass. Nice exit hit by Sarah Quill. Will call off the jam. Force the call off. Jekyll Jackson with 4. 12 points now for Ashley Jugs, and Bay State with a 34-point lead.
I've been watching the Green Mountain bench down at the end of the track, and they have, in between each jam, been huddled up discussing the game at hand each time. I don't see that as much from Bay State. Bay State probably just knows this is our game plan and we're going to stick to it. But Green Mountain definitely, you can just see down there as they're communicating a sense of urgency.
That's right, and you can see them on the pivot line right now. The skaters for the next jam, same type of intense conversation. It would appear that Snatch McCracken is going to jam for the Grade A Fancy.
Yeah, that's something we haven't seen today at all.
Correct. She jammed for Green Mountain yesterday a couple of times. She'll be going against Monkey for Bay State.
Green Mountain is one blocker down. In the box is going to be Savage Patch Kid.
Again, setting up near the pivot line. And we have
Quick
a jammer
change.
switch.
But
no, the Green Mountain jammer is in the box as well. Chad. Penalty assessed at the end
Yep.
of the jam
That
on a
was
star pass violation.
Exactly, star pass violation. That's the star pass we saw down here on turn 3 and turn 4, where it was dropped and then picked back up again.
Yeah, that's Vijayal Jackson. Monkey now with the star for Bay State. It's a big jam for Bay State. They could conceivably blow it open right now.
Yeah, this is a great situation for Bay State. They have the upper hand in the obvious upper hand of the power jam, but they also have one less blocker to contend with, and there was 2 easy points in the box when she skated by.
That's right. So that's a quick 5, and an immediate call off by Monkey, and that's an interesting call. We got mule kick coming out of the penalty box, an official review now being requested by Green Mountain, and this will, if they don't prevail on this is going to run them out of clock stoppage.
I'm surprised at that quick call off. There was no need for her to call it off. There was definitely game time, so I'm not sure what the strategy was there. I can't imagine she forgot that she was the only jammer out there.
Monkey doesn't strike me as the type of player who is not aware of time and score. This does give us an opportunity to thank some of the sponsors of Coastal Chaos 2018. Clean Bee is the place for all things laundry. Dry cleaning, they do it. Soap, they have it. Laundry, they fold it. So come on in and try the clean at Clean Bee Laundry. Coastal Chaos 2018 would also like to thank Diversified Inc. They have 7 licensed tattoo artists specializing in custom tattoo designs. They're located in the Penobscot Plaza in Bangor, and they are open 7 days a week from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And that's one of the things, Chad, I got to say that. No, you got to say that's a responsible tattoo parlor. 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You're not going to get accidental tattoos that way. You're gonna have people who really want it and are serious about it. And along those lines, they also offer a 10% discount to students and military personnel with proper ID. Okay, the official review has been decided. We'll have more information on that in just a couple of seconds.
Now we will actually see Snatch McCracken with a star up against Ace of Aches.
Yep, Ace of Aches looking outside and awarded lead jammer.
We didn't get any information yet on that official review, but I also see it's gone from the scoreboard, so whatever it was they were reviewing is standing or not being called.
Oh, and Ace of Aches high stepping on the inside of turn 2, calling off the jam with 4 points. Period clock working against Green Mountain right now as it's down to 12 minutes, 15 seconds. Green Mountain will send Sarah Quill, XR, to the jam line.
Word is they were contesting that star pass.
Okay. And this is Wreck and Roll jamming for Bay State.
Yeah, we got Sarah Quill out there for the Grade A Fancy.
Bumped out, still working. Sarah Quill likes the inside, but it's not there. No, roll back by Kate.
There may be a back block.
And you are correct. It's it's actually a leg block being called on Sarah Quill. So another power jam now for Bay State.
Yeah, Bay State, this is, you get to use the old cliche, nails in the coffin. This is it right now for Bay State.
Yeah.
Calling it off. They picked up more points. They'll also start with the power jam in nearly a 30-second advantage.
Yes, and as one might imagine, they send Ashley Jugs to the jam line. So now it's up to Green Mountain to lock down on defense. We've got Poison Apple, we've got Fox, we've got Savage Patch Kid and Smash McCracken. They can't hold off Ashley Jugs. Nope. Ashley Jugs, lead jammer.
I think in that situation, I missed the exact start, but it looked like a 4-wall in which everybody had their back to Ashley. And I think in that kind of scenario, you really want to have a brace up front, telling you which direction. She's too quick for you to just try to move laterally. You got to have somebody there to help.
I would agree. You got
to have that spotter up there.
Yep, somebody to direct the defensive formation. Ashley Jugs now looking for another scoring pass, and she is awarded 4 more points, 0 for Green Mountain. So the last 5 minutes of gameplay have been all Bay State. As 161 now for the Brawlers. Grade A Fancy still on 113. We're under 10 minutes to go in this first contest.
We owe both teams a thanks for such an exciting first game of the day.
Yeah, definitely. Bay State is, putting it out there when they need it. Look at Monkey going against Vajikel Jackson now. And Jackson's going to roll back, Monkey. Got some help from Busty Breaker.
Yeah, Busty Breaker, and I didn't see who was with Busty at the time, but that was really an excellent job to just, push out and then to fill the gap of the teammate. So when Monkey was back up again, really wasn't a lot of space.
No, but Monkey, ever resilient, is lead jammer on a scoring pass. Here comes Folsom Bruise, and it's a 2-point pass for Monkey. So, at this point, I would say Bay State's probably happy to just roll out the clock. They're aware that Green Mountain has some firepower.
So, if this was a normal tournament, that might be the case, but we can't forget this is also for points in the
ranking
WFTDA
points, exactly.
standings.
And you are correct, Chad. Every jam counts.
So the Punishers don't want to lose ground either.
Oh my! Somebody's going to sit down over that one.
Sarah Quill.
Yeah, Sarah Quill XR just getting in a little too aggressively on that inside of turn 1, called off for the low block. And it took Ace of Aches off her stride for a second, but she's back out and she's in lead. Mullen Mule kick through on the initial. Ace of Aches going to take her 4 and close the door. So, and an official review now being requested by Bay State. I'm wondering whether they might ask for an expulsion.
An expulsion, yeah. I was thinking the same thing.
It's in the heat of battle, and I'm not privy to how officials often look at that situation. But it was an extreme hit, and the penalty was called. That's all the speculation that I'm going to do now.
Your referee team is going to get together and say, okay, well, so it was an extreme hit. That's without doubt. But was it a clean hit, and was it a legal hit? Because that's really what matters.
Yeah.
Because in a high collision contact sport like roller derby, there's always going to be extreme hits. It's just a matter of whether or not that was a legal hit or not.
Yeah, and Ace of Aches is getting some attention from her own skaters right now. That was a painful shot. As you are making your plans over the next several months, there's a few dates I think you ought to keep in mind. The WFTDA Continental Cups, the 2018 Continental Cups, a new format, will be taking place August 17th through 19th, the North America East Cup in Kalamazoo, Michigan, hosted by the Kalamazoo Derby Darlings. The North America West Cup will be the following weekend, August 24th through 26th in Omaha, Nebraska, hosted by the Omaha Roller Girls. And the European Continental Cup will take place October 27th through 28th in Birmingham in the UK, hosted by the Birmingham Blitz Dames. The other dates you want to consider for your travel plans are the 2018 International WFTDA Playoffs and Championships. First up, August 31st through September 2 in A Coruña, Spain. Next up, September 21st through the 23rd in Atlanta, Georgia. And in November, the 9th through the 11th, the 2018 International WFTDA Championships will be in the Crescent City, New Orleans, Louisiana, hosted by Big Easy Roller Girls. So plenty of exciting WFTDA postseason play, international in scope and amazing to participate in. Make those travel plans and hope to see you all in New Orleans.
I won't be at any of those.
Well, hopefully.
As you're saying that, I'm like, my goodness, how am I going to drag all my equipment to any of that kind of thing?
Well, that is a daunting challenge, no doubt about it.
I'll stick with New England.
Okay, yeah. Well, and you do it so well, Chad, that we're all very grateful for New England Roller Derby Report. Okay, we are going to get a clarification now as our alternate referee is rolling over to the announcer table. I wonder, of course, you always speculate about what the official review is, and sometimes you're right, sometimes you're wrong. But I don't see anybody currently being escorted from the playing surface. But then again, the officiating crew is still speaking with the captains and coaches.
Exactly.
So we will find out shortly. We want to thank Owl's Head Solutions for sponsoring Coastal Chaos 2018. Owl's Head Solutions is a full-service branding, design, and development agency that offers the highest levels of creative presentation and technology to identify, illuminate, and communicate your message, located in South Thomaston, Maine.
Also, another tournament coming up, 8-11, 8-12, so the 11th and 12th in August. All 8 on the floor down in Auburn, Mass.
Oh, yeah, that is a fun tournament. That is a B-team tournament, correct?
Yeah, typically B-team tournament down there at the Horgan Arena.
Yeah. All right, back to the action. Vajikel Jackson is through. Lead jammer for Green Mountain. Green Mountain's not going to go quietly. Jackson with that patented hit and quit, and she's showing her spirit. That takes Green Mountain to 117.
I've done an audio broadcast, a radio broadcast, a couple of all 8 on the floors. I think the last, I don't think they had one last year or the year before, but prior to that, I did all 8.
Okay, Ashley Jugs to the line for Bay State.
The block was ruled as not an egregious block. All stands.
Okay, so we were correct on the nature of the official review. And, I think all things considered, the officials had the best line of sight and sense of proportion, and they've made the call. Ashley Jugs is lead jammer, calling it off after picking up 4 points, and that will take Bay State now to 175, 5:49 to go. Of course, Green Mountain cannot stop the clock now.
Yeah,
so
the clock is going to run, and Bay State knows that for sure.
Yeah, curb stomp on the line for the Grade A Fancy. Monkey for the Punishers. Well, regardless of the eventual result, Green Mountain has a lot to be proud of in this game. They were giving Bay State all they could handle for the majority of the contest.
I think it's also close enough that I think there will be benefit for them.
The differential could go their way. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Okay, Monkey getting the business from the grade A fancy blocking staff, but now getting through lead jammer. Curb Stomp still pushing against Burstin' Bubbles. Both teams will vote on most valuable blocker and jammer after this game. I'd have to give serious consideration if I were a Green Mountain player to Burstin' Bubbles. I think she's played really well in the pack.
Yep, we've talked a lot about the Green Mountain defense today. We haven't really maybe given as much attention to Bay State because they've just been out there. They've all kind of been just doing their job all day
That's
long.
Right. That's right. Kind of a group effort for sure on the part of Bay State. Monkey now on a roll, putting up 5. Savage Patch Kid receiving the star pass now. So Monkey with a decision to make. She gets 4 more. Monkey is happy to let the clock roll right now. If that means giving up a couple of points to Savage Patch Kids, that might be what. And a back block now.
On Monkey.
Ooh, so still 14 seconds on the jam clock, and Green Mountain will start this next jam in a power jam.
Yeah, so there's a few more points picked up by Savage. I think they'll still be down on points for this jam.
Yes,
5-9.
Monkey went to the box with 9 points. No additional points awarded. So the period clock on 3:09. Vijayal Jackson to the jam line. Power jam start for Green Mountain, and they have an opportunity to tighten up that differential a little bit more here.
Yeah. I think they're taking an official timeout. I'm not sure that the scoreboard is right, but it didn't look like Monkey got 14 points in that last jam.
Well, it would have been difficult to take 5 to the penalty box, but I suppose that could happen. Monkey's the only skater in the penalty box right now. We'll wait to see the resolution of this. We want to thank Havana, located in beautiful Bar Harbor, Maine, near Acadia National Park. Havana has been committed to serving local and organic meat, produce, and seafood since opening 18 years ago.
This officials review, great timing for Green Mountain, who doesn't have any way to stop the clock.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's kind of working in their favor. Behind us now, Mass Attack Roller Derby is getting ready to take the track. They will be going up against Granite State. The Granite State took a loss to State College yesterday. Mass Attack getting beaten by Lehigh Valley, the two Pennsylvania teams prevailing in the first round, and the two Pennsylvania teams are going to be meeting later on today. Only one will advance. That'll be at 7:30. The other game in the championship bracket between the two rock stars, the Rock Coast Rollers and the Rockin' City Greatest Hits, will take place at 3:30. But again, next up will be Granite State versus Mass Attack. That's going to be a fun one too.
Yeah, and the winner of that will likely go on to play against the Bay State Brawlers on
right.
Sunday.
That's right, and that'll be for the consolation round champion. One of the nice things about this tournament format is, if you lose in the first round, you still have a trophy to play for.
Right.
And the officials have gotten things sorted out. Jam timer Trogdora, the Jaminator, says 5 seconds. Vijayal Jackson on the line in a power start. Okay. Oh, an immediate lead jam given to Vajaykel Jackson. Oh no, it's
penalty.
It's a penalty. Gonna re-say that. It's a cutting the track penalty. So Monkey lead is open. Monkey can get lead out of the penalty box. Ooh, Monkey goes down hard.
And with Monkey having had the penalty and then the official's timeout, she's had a little bit of time to recoup. So she may be able to come out here and put some strong numbers on the board here,
well,
if she chooses to.
It's possible, although Poison Apple is holding her and now passing her off to Breaker. There goes Monkey getting through the pack in reverse, and she is not
the lead jammer.
Jackson out of the penalty box, so with 53 seconds on the jam clock, 1:47 on the period clock, we will see another jam, but neither of these jammers can call off the action. Oh, and another penalty going against Vajaykel Jackson. So Monkey on the power jam once again. Bay State looking to go over 200. That is 4 more for Monkey. Takes them up to 199.
Oh, she tried to call off. Can't do that.
Nope.
Monkey can't do that.
Sorry, Monkey. No lead jammer awarded in this next to final jam. I'm going to go ahead and say Monkey plowing through at the end, and 4 more points. That'll take Bay State up over 200. They're on 203 now. Period clock down to 38 seconds. We should get another jam. Official time out. The clock stops at 29 seconds. And we may have a foul out to deal with here.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm looking to see who's in the box.
Yeah, our view is obstructed right now, but the officials are talking to the Bay State pivot right now. The unsung heroes of Coastal Chaos 2018 may have just walked past our Turn 4 camera. They are the tape ninjas, the track repair technicians. This is a very fine skating surface, but it is a hockey facility, and I've been told that it does retain moisture, and as a result, the tape and the lines of the track require constant attention, and they just keep patrolling between jams with the red tape and the packing tape to keep everything up to speed. They really deserve a thank you. As Sarah Quill XR on the start line decides to sit down. We're going to say that was a intentional decision.
Yeah, we'll pretend it was that and not leaning too far back on her heels for a second.
Yes, that's she's on the jam line with Wreck and Roll, and they're both showing some competitive respect for each other. 29 seconds to go. The official timeout is now up to 1 minute and 48 seconds. But it is no more. We shall have roller derby here in 5 seconds.
Yeah, we're gonna correct that jam clock.
Okay, here we go.
Jam clock, there we go.
Period clock down to 20. Oh, what a nice move there by Wreck and Roll. Dick Big under the defense. She's awarded lead jammer.
She's slowing down in the front stretch. She's going to burn that clock. She's only got 8 seconds.
Yeah, why risk a penalty at this point? Wreck and roll, one eye on the period clock, calls off the jam. Yep. And our unofficial score, 203 Bay State, 122 Green Mountain. It's somewhat of a cliche, Chad, but the gameplay was closer than the final score would indicate.
Yeah, for the majority of this game, Green Mountain not only held their own, but held the lead on a couple of occasions and had answers for Bay State's heavy hitters.
And there are some hitters for Bay State, no question about that.
And we can say for Bay State, they played their game consistently for a full 2 periods.
They did that.
I think they trusted they'd come away with a win with that strategy, and that's how it worked for them.
That was the result. Again, Coastal Chaos 2018 is a WFTDA-recognized tournament. Whether participating on the track, cheering in the stands, or watching on WFTDA.tv, WFTDA tournaments provide everyone who loves roller derby an opportunity to witness the most anticipated matchups of the year. And now we've got the Bay State Brawlers Punishers taking their victory lap.
So we will be back shortly with Mass Attack versus who were they playing?
Granite State.
Yes. So we've had an all New England morning here, and we'll continue that when we come back. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Chad, and for Gretchen, stick around. We'll be back in probably about 15-20 minutes.